So, sorry for the small delay. We had some technical difficulties to get started. I have a new laptop. I migrated OBS and it went smooth for the most part. But seemingly there were like a couple of files on my old machine that I placed like in random locations, and I quickly had to pull them back in from my backup. But yeah, should work. And I also fixed the chat. I think the chat should not be cut off anymore. So, yeah, we had a short break last week because I had a summer party at my company, and I can't miss free barbecue, of course. But we are back at the Switchwire. So, um, last week, 2 weeks ago, we swapped back from 48 volts to 24 volts, and we also updated Klipper, which was a bit painful. And I did a little bit of research 2 weeks ago, and I did not have time now to look it up again. Um, but there is a way to fully automate the Klipper backups. So I just want to like set it up and kind of explore it. So we'll need to figure it out as we go. But the basic idea is that we can create config files that we can give to the Klipper make config. Like, yeah, instead of like doing the make config with the manual configuration, we can give it a config file. And that means we can create a shell script that updates all the boards in the machine with the latest Klipper. So let's see how it goes. I'm curious if we can manage. Like my end goal basically would be to run a macro from Klipper, like not from like a macro from mainsail saying like update Klipper, and it downloads the latest Klipper. It flashes all the boards and it restarts Klipper. So that's kind of my goal. Let's see if that works. And I see my new laptop has the fun effects enabled again. So if I do something like this, it should do like stuff, and then like random stuff appears. But see, it does not work, which is great. No, it's off. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. This stuff we don't want any balloons and stuff. So it's very off. Cool. Then, but before we go to software fun, I also have a small hardware modification I want to do today, which is the umbilical cable on this machine. It's like not pretty. That's the one part. Like it's not pretty. Let me maybe quickly show you from the front. So yeah, it's not the most pretty setup here. And then also like the learning we had from the 2.4 is like that this cable is ideally not directly like this. But we have like a PG7 connector. They're really cheap. And I actually had to order some for like another project, so I had like a bunch of them flying around. So there's a new arm that goes behind the tool head and replaces the original one, and here we have a PG7. The nice thing about this specific arm is, we can get it in. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. That it goes to the back. The problem with the switch wire is, and you also see like I limited the machine here, like these are the end stops here, left and right. The reason I did that is that the cable here collides with the lights and also with the extrusion here on top. So with this arm, it's like routed to the back. So this removes the problem and we gain that Z space back. I don't really need that much Z usually, but you know, it's nicer. I did not print the end stop parts here, or like these stopper parts here. So we can check if they're still like in my printed parts toolbox for this machine. But if not, it's not a big deal. I can replace them later. So the idea is basically to have this cable here. We need to see how exactly we route it. We need a bit more cable here at the end because we replaced an arm here, right, with the hole. It's like perfectly focused on the top bar as always. Spot focus quickly. So we need a bit more cable because it goes in here, then makes a loop and goes in. So we need a bit more cable here. So I think I will not go all the way to the top here. But I created this part quickly in Fusion like this afternoon, which just bolts in here somewhere. So we can kind of like have this do its thing, but then we can have a little bit less travel distance here for the cable. So I'm trying to say that we have like extra cable here because under deck there's no spare cable, so we need to make do with what we have. Okay, yeah, that's kind of like the mission number 1 is the umbilical cable. And then once that is done, like let's do some Klipper update magic. Ideally, I will also write like the same automation for my other machines because like it's nice if you can update Klipper quickly. Also, like I don't do Klipper updates that often, so it's always like a bit of like effort to figure out again on this machine how exactly it works. And which boards are used and how to configure the make menu config. So it's nice if it's like fully automated. Item is the DSI. Oh, and also it might show up later. We have a new co-host. Oh, I'm in manual focus. That makes sense. Why nothing focuses. Yeah, we have a new co-host, so he might show up later and comment on my build skills. So let's see. Yeah, I already forgot to take out my tools. It's a great start. But I think the first thing we actually need to do is like to completely remove this cable also on the deck because the plug at the end is too thick. It doesn't fit through the PG7 connector. So basically we need to remove the cable completely and then like put the PG7 connector in from the other side. It's a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. Let me see. I always let everything crash in all directions when I flip this machine over. So maybe this is kind of okay. I'm very happy that I now have this like new ball head here for the camera. Like so much nicer now to quickly adjust the camera and like it just stays where it's supposed to be and doesn't slip around. Okay. Oh, there's 2 more screws. I always forget about these here on the bottom. Here we go. This goes off. Put it down. Yeah, that's the 24-volt power supply we did last time. And let's just quickly take a look-see in our like cable channel. Exactly. So we have a bit of CAN bus cable here. So this needs to go all the way out. I'm not sure. I need to kind of remember. So this we need to most likely take off this plug as well because it doesn't fit. How can I remember that? I don't have anything to make notes on. Let me quickly make a note here. Let me make a note where I can make notes. You know what? Let's just note in chat. Note to myself in chat. So the left one is green and the center is yellow. Here we go. So somebody can remind me later when I inevitably forget. So I really like this cable channel stuff. Like it makes life so easy. It's a bit bitchy to install, but once it's in, It's very nice. Okay, do I have a tiny bit of tape here? I obviously don't. That would be too easy. Because I think it's easier for us if we add a tiny bit of tape around these wires, just to keep them a bit together. That will make it easier later to put them through the PG7 connector. So let's just pull them out here. And then also we need to take care of the power. So you see here is like the thick cable coming in. And that is these two here. So these are just hardwired to 24 volts and ground. And that's basically the power that the toolhead board then receives. Okay. We do have a bit of spare cable here, so I was thinking a little bit ahead here. Did that? I was not thinking ahead when I removed immediately or put the electrical tape back immediately, because we will do the exact same thing, of course, here with the power cables. Just makes it easier. Here we go. Good enough. Okay, and this should be ready. So this goes here. Some cables on top. And with this, we should be able to just pull it out. Perfect. And then we can go on top. Easier than on 2.4. Hi, Jason. So I just flip them over again. Okay, maybe let's give you this orientation here. I just remove these. Like these are like printed clips. Quite handy to organize the cable. These also hold the cable in place on top here. Let's see. So that's it. Lot easier than with the 2.4. Then let's remove the cable here. I think that's just this one screw holding everything in place. Here we go. And we are in business. Then let's just pull this off as well. Let me actually quickly change the focus settings on the camera, because I think it's like always focusing on the like wider area of the shot. But I kind of want to have to focus on center, because otherwise it will always focus here. And we don't want focus on top of the printer. Hi there, Martin. Welcome to the stream. So this is the old bridge. But I also now see like we obviously have to like add a couple of heatsink inserts to the new one. Let's do it in a second. So basically these are the two parts we are replacing. You see like the bridge part is identical here. So the difference is really only that this one has a PG7 connector here and this one obviously does not. But I also see like that they removed that heatsink insert here, which makes sense because in this setup basically the plug takes all the force from the movement. And here, basically, the force goes into the PG7 connector. Okay, then let's see here. So there are a couple of cable ties. Maybe I can just slide them off. Can I do that? No, I can't. Let's quickly get rid of those. We don't need them. Let's also remove this one. And I'm also not sure if we keep the sleeving, to be honest. Like, I don't like the sleeving. It's a bit cheap. Oh yeah, I remember what we did here. So we have this like solid core wire here, and I just wrapped it around to make it a bit stiffer. Just like, yeah. Like you can see here, it's like quite floppy, and here it's like still floppy, but like a bit less floppy, if that makes sense. So let's see. So firstly, we don't need this NPC anymore. This can go. Let me just actually not even bother getting this out there. Then also this thing here can go up a bit. But I'm not sure if we keep it, to be honest. I feel like if we have like a tight sleeve, and this is not a tight sleeve, this is like a very not tight sleeve, this might give it enough stiffness already. The thing's like I'm not really concerned about the cable moving, because like it's really like more or less from here till here. Like there's it can't like, oh, you don't you don't see it. So it's really just like in this range here. It can't touch anything really. Like it will be like this more or less. So there's nothing where it can sag down and get caught in or something. So I think it's fine if we remove this here. It's also not adding too much stiffness, to be honest. Like a bit. Yeah, let's remove it. Hi there, Lucas. Welcome. What I mean with fully automated Klipper update, like my end goal, like we need to see if it works, right? Like I can't promise too much, like we first have to build it, but my end goal is basically that you run like a macro in Mindsail of Fluids, and then it updates all your boards with the latest Klipper. That you don't have to manually flash that. That would be my goal. Okay, I have some sleeving here. Hi there, Desktube. Welcome. I just got the laser cut acrylic parts for the Enderwire. Nice to see it working on Umbilical. I'm using the SP2209 USB version. Chose this to install a nozzle cam on the SP. Nice. Is there a USB version of the SP2209? I didn't know that. But I have the SP, like normal SP2209. And I think it's... Is there a USB version? I never saw a USB version of the SP2209. Like this one can run on USB. I did that as well in the beginning. No fire, please. Let me see if we can... Let's also quickly measure first. So this will be like a relatively tight fit with the sleeving, so we don't have to stretch that a lot. And this is relatively cheap sleeving, so let's see how it goes. So somewhere around here. And I just melt the ends a bit, that doesn't fizzle out as much. So let's actually, let me add a little bit more electrical tape around, because there's like a little bit of copper wire speaking out at the end, which gets caught in the sleeve. Okay, let's try. Please make a GitHub macro with the configs. Yes, there is actually a GitHub with my config. Not saying that this is like a good config for the Enderwire. um, looking for ideas to install Umbilical. Yeah, so I think like I went through a couple of iterations here with the Umbilical. This one is definitely the best. I will link the files in the Discord for sure. There's Discord link in the description. Should be. This part is from printables. I can show it in a second. And the other part, this one I sketched up like this afternoon. So that's not yet on printables, but if somebody's interested, I'm happy to put it there. So it's a bit painful now here to get it over the first. So it's like once you're like on the cable, like it goes relatively okay. And then it's just like, so basically you just push, you grab the end of your wires, and then like it just slides over. But I fear the sleeve is way too short. So I don't think the sleeve will reach all the way down. So basically the problem is like the fuller the sleeve is, the shorter it gets. I don't think I have any wider sleeve here. But if the part of the like the umbilical sleeve, that's already good enough. I do have a Discord server. There should be a link in the description, unless I forgot to add it to this one. Let me just quickly drop it in the chat. Invite, edit link, never generate link, copy, paste. That's the invite link for Discord. And I think we also have a channel with all the parts and mods I have on the Enderwire. This is a lot tighter than I expected. Worst case, we have to revert to the old sleeve. But this is like as stiff now as with this solid core wire wrapped around. I'm pretty sure it's the same sleeve I used for the 2.4. No, it's the same cable. Okay, here we go. Cable comes out on the other end. Yeah, but it's definitely way too short. Like this is all unsleeved. That's okay. Okay, so this section is sleeved. This is more than enough, and then the rest of the cable just runs down here. I don't mind if it's sleeved or not. Okay, let's add the PG7 connectors. So how they work is basically you have the space and the flexible cover. Let's make sure to not put them on the wrong way, not like I ever did that or something. And also let's be smart about this one. So there's an order basically how you have to put these things together. So I think this is the first one. That needs to go through here. And then we already can technically screw this one on here. Let's do that first. So this base needs to go on here. I hope this goes in. Yeah, there you go. So this is on. Then the cable goes through here. Yeah, there's some rubber seals in there. Technically, this water connector is watertight. I don't think you need the rubber seals. For me, they always come out. It's like, it is what it is. So my goal here basically is now to have the sleeve and in the connector, just like from a visual perspective. So if I connect the cable here, right, this will be something like this. So this part basically, the loop here will not be sleeved. So the sleeve can move further down the cable. And it's just like a little bit trial and error to figure out where exactly it needs to end. And it's always like fun. Yeah, let's quickly add like a tiny bit of electrical tape around it just to keep the strands of the sleeving. Let's see. I think it's still a bit too far. Let's try this. So just use a bit of electrical tape because now it slides over the sleeve. Let's go. Yeah, it's pretty good. So this part is not sleeved, and then the sleeve starts right now in the connector. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly where I want it. It's just make sure the sleeve is really snug, because then it's like a little bit stiffer. Okay, then the flexible part, same shebang. We just move that through here. And now that we have the position here, let's actually terminate this sleeve first. Let's see if I have like a nice heat shrink we can use for that. Does that fit? It might fit. And I think this one is heat shrink with a bit of glue inside, which helps. Technically, it's not really needed here for this application. But I feel like the heat shrink with glue always helps with the. Let's see if it goes on or not. With the sleeving to hold it together a bit more. Here we go. Now the question does go over this? No. Okay, no, this doesn't fit. And we need this one should fit for sure. It's quite a nice long section. You could have also used heat shrink on the other side, by the way, but the other side is in a PG7 connector, so not as exposed. Well, it's also too small. Let's do a trick. More electrical tape. Oh, I missed some messages. I'm more interested in the V0. Last time I need pause and complete my config with yours. Oh, you mean like you had to complete the config from the stream? Yeah, no, like I think the V0 config is actually not on GitHub yet. For the 2.4, I have a complete config. For the switch wire, I have the config files. That is also too small, by the way. Will we find some heat shrink? Yeah, this is the one I just used. And the next step up is this one here. Let's see, otherwise we use electrical tape. So to before I have a complete config on GitHub. Also with I made a complete build guide for this machine actually for the kit, for the Formboard kit. I do have the switch wire config on there as well. But it's like the switch wire config I have here is a bit messy. Like I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. It works for me. So you can use it if it works for you. I don't think this works. Like this does not work for me. I think this is too big. I don't think it melts tight enough. And this lighter is almost out of gas. Yeah, could just work. Just making sure to like melt the heat shrink, the sleeving inside a bit. Sorry, I'm also off camera. Okay, this should work. Cool. Then let's put this one on. I got a 90-degree angled XT30 2+2 cable to gain a bit of that. Yeah, I think this has the same effect what I'm doing here. If I get it over here. Because this also is like the 90-degree angle. Also just comes out to the back. So this has more or less the same effect, I assume. We do have to add a heat set insert here. And now we have like a nice sleeved cable that can go somewhere here. And back here, there's nothing, so the cable can be. We can decide where to anchor this later, and also how much cable to have out. Okay, let's do the next step. So we have to basically do the same in reverse. So first we start with this one now. The electrical tape here came loose. Let's add it back. So this way, right? Yeah. And the first person who does something wrong here, and then we have to retrack a lot of stuff. Here we go. Yeah, that is correct. So this is this orientation. And then we can do this anchor part. So it needs a bit of maneuvering to get the thick part here through. I hope this works. Let's see if I can loosen that a bit. Might be easier if it's not plugged in. Not sure. No. Oh, there's this rubber seal again. Let's get rid of this. Ah. Now I pulled the heat shrink off. Okay. We have to do the heat shrink again. Actually, try to show you a bit more. Don't use the printer right now. Hi Dom, welcome. So, but it's a really nice machine. Like I really enjoy printing with it. Like even I think Steve said at some point like I will not use it anymore when I have 2.4, but that's not true. Like it's so easy to get going. Like there's no overhead. You just send the job and like there's no heat soaking or anything. It just prints it, and like I have to a point where it like prints reliably, so I can just send the job and I know like this will work out. Is this a different size heat shrink? Doesn't seem like it's shrinking as much as the other one. Yeah, it's not really tight. I think that's also why the other one came off. Not a light is quite hot. Let's try quickly if we can push it over. Otherwise, let's just use electrical tape. I don't care for that. Make sure there's no more of these like rubber seals in there. It's like pushing it on this direction is always a bit tricky because like the teeth are kind of like trying to grab anything. Okay, let's try electrical tape quickly. Well, let's actually try without. Kind of molten the sleeving now a bit, so potentially it's just sliding on. Yeah, here we go. And let's just use some electrical tape. And please don't walk over my keyboard, Loki. Was maybe a bit optimistically short. Let's use a bit more. Yep. Here we go. So then these two parts are on. Let's see, yeah, here we go. This also goes back in. It was actually really tricky, like to model this part. Hi there, Raven Keeper. Yeah, later basically we can check it, how exactly we want to position it, but you see like when you tighten this down, it locks the cable in place. So I guess we can put it somewhere a little bit higher above the drag chain here. But we don't have to do it too long. And then like this can just do whatever it wants back here. I think this is already quite a good spot, to be honest. Like there's no cleaning up here. And now I made a mess. So if we have something like this, I think that's already pretty good. And I think the last thing is just the heat set insert here, and then we can put everything together. And I would reuse these cable clips just to have the cable in place here. What extruder are you using? I'm just using the standard clockwork. Nothing special. I'm old school and simple there. Like I know technically like you get a bit more performance from other extruders. But I think for me the limiting factor is more the hot end than the extruder. I'm using a Wago high flow. You need to inspect everything here now, right? I'm using a Wago high flow, but I'm also using a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. And I am more or less at the limit what the Wago can melt. Let me clean up a little bit here very quickly. It's really neat in a second. And this sleeve I really don't like. It's like, I think this is actually from the Ender. We reused it from the Ender. Okay. Heatset insert. Yes, my new PC. The migration went quite well, Steve. And that's also my new PC. I think everything is well inspected now. Yeah, inspection passed. Yeah, so it's the same laptop as I had before. The problem with my old one was I was running out of memory. I only had 16 gigabytes. Very deep regret. Oh wait, you're talking about Ravenkeeper's new PC? Yes, his new PC. Yeah. So let's put that here. Talking Raven, yeah. Sorry, Steve. I was not quite following there. But yes, Ravenkeeper also has a very nice new PC. And he deserved it after like 7 years. You can't hear the stream? Anyone else having the problem? Because I also migrated my OBS setups, but nobody complained so far. Okay, let's see. So it should be relatively straightforward to put back here. Very solid impression already. Audio slow, right? Yeah, well, let me see. I can definitely boost that a bit. Sounds better now? Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Ravenkeeper might be like my microphone setup here. Because I also migrated to a new machine, like maybe something changed from settings there. But let me know if it's now better. I can also give it a bit more even. Volume is fine here. Okay, then I'm not sure. Okay, perfect. I also realized just before the stream I made a mistake here. I didn't add any tolerance to these holes, so we have to work them a bit. I'm not sure how this happened, but I was like, oh, I use M3, so 3mm holes. Yeah, it would have been nice if the sleeve goes all the way down. I think something like this should work really well because then it can't catch on the chain here. Even if it's like up, should be fine. Or we really put it lower than it's always behind the chain. Maybe that's even better if we put it low, like this. I think we can put it really low. Like this should work perfectly. This is such a good setup. Like seriously, this is so much better than if it goes to the top. Maybe a bit higher, that it always goes around the camera. I have this like camera arm here a little bit. But even with this, like this is pretty good. So somewhere here on this height. Somewhere around here. Let's use let's see if I can maneuver it in. Yeah, I think M3 by 8 should be fine. And do I have, let me quickly check if I have any hammerhead or T-nuts here. Let me see. I think there is one M3 hammerhead I have here. Let me see something else flying around. Oh. Use a Allen key for this one. Yeah, it's also M3. And the other one is also M3. Now it's a bit higher. I can also boost a bit more. 200%. No, like that much off it can't be. Is it now any better? Let me see. Not sure if this does anything. No, this is not active. I don't know, like, then I don't think anything changed here, to be honest. Building on my 2.4 will keep you on. We did our 2 different builds together. But you were like, weren't you ahead of me, TP? It's not on my end. Okay, Steve, I fully trust you. If you say it's not on my end, it's not on my end. Put these bad boys in. Yeah, they're far enough out that we can do it nice. Yep. Maybe let's do it where the drag chain is not, and it's a bit easier. Well, thank you. It's a very high quality nut. Let's It's a bit iffy. Maybe I have to quickly remove this here. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier to reach the screw. They're like so loose, like as soon as you touch them with the screw, like they come out. Let's try this. Now it should be fine. Now I can access it straight from the front. Here we go. Let's see if we can convince this one also to go in. Perfect. Okay. And back in. Oh, this time for me. Okay, that's not on my side. My performance one of the formats has been on sale. AliExpress ended up getting the 650 for the 300. Oh, it's pretty good deal. Only the Z system is built. Okay, then you're still in for some fun. I do have the GitHub repository now, by the way. I also want to show imprintables. GitHub, Chris. Okay. Well, that's not very good, Google. It finds random repositories from me, but not the 2.4. Formbot Voron 2.4. So I made this for the forum, Formbot Voron 2.4. It has the config here, and it has a build guide. So it's like more like a supplementary, complementary kind of like thing. But it lists all the printed parts here that you need to print, and then like I have like some commentary on the build process. And later, if you scroll through here, I mean also yeah, these parts. There's also like instructions on flashing and everything if you need that. So feel free to check that out. Link is also in Discord. If it makes me want to build a switch wire with $10 ANET ET4 fine. This is the best thing that the ANET ET4, I don't know ET4, but it's the best thing it can become. It's a really cool machine. Like I have no regrets whatsoever building this. Like it's really fun. I mean, I don't have favorites, but it's definitely one of my favorite printers. Cool. I mean, yeah, this is a bit floppy, but it doesn't collide with anything. Oh, now it has a bit of a twist. Let me see if I can maybe twist it even in the opposite direction a tiny bit. ET4 is an okay clone of the Ender. Best thing that you can do with it is source the parts to build a Voron. Yeah. If it's a clone of the Ender, like most of the time, like you still need to do like a little bit of like tweaking to make the parts work. Because even the clones are quite close to the Ender, they're not exactly the same. Would you mind leaving my tools where they are? Thank you. Okay, cool. But this is like the above deck part. So the question is now if we shorten this this cable, because the cable is now relatively long. Yeah, you're helping. Thank you. Let's just try to push this here back in. Yeah. It's a very, very good assistant. So he's reorganizing all the parts in the correct order. making sure all the screws are tight. He didn't figure out yet how to knock things off tables. I assume this will follow shortly. And still ends up cheaper buying the kits these days. Yeah, it is. It is. But to be honest, like if you have the machine, I think it's so much fun to like make something better out of it. Like the kit is nice, but I just like the process of like or upcycling like a machine like that. Cool. Yeah, it turns out really nice. I'm really happy with this part here. Like it's really nice. Like just like gives it like the trajectory it needs. If you would add a piano wire in here or something, I think it would be even nicer. Also, the cable is a little bit less less sloppy. But this is also totally doable. Oh, the convention kits. You mean like the conversion kits? Yeah, like that's definitely 100% recommendation. Like if you have like let's say like an Ender or like a ANET ET4, definitely go for like I think Cbor sells the kits. Like I would not self-source the parts for something like this. I paid more than the kits, and I don't have the acrylic panels. Cool. Okay, let's rewire under deck, and then I think we can check if it works. Here we go. Okay. It's actually not this much more cable that we now have. I thought there would be more spare cable. Um, let's just try to loop this in here. We don't have to do anything. Yeah, definitely look into the kit. The only thing is like because it's not the Ender, just be aware that like some stuff might not be 100% fitting, but the parts should be mostly the same, I assume. I think the difference would be more in the printed parts, most likely. That the printed parts might not 100% fit because maybe some extrusions or something are a little bit different. But should be, if you're like somewhat handy with Fusion, you can easily fix it yourself, most likely. Otherwise, it's a great project maybe to learn. Okay, that's on. Let's just put the center part back in right away. And then this one needs to be in the CAN bus connector again. I probably remember yellow center and green on the left. Let's make sure we don't lose our can twist here. Here we go. And that goes back here. And technically everything should. Here we go. So that should all close neatly up. And that means we have a new umbilical cable installed. Do we want to close it? Technically, we can just close it up. Like, I don't think there's anything left to do under deck. At some point we will patch up the LEDs. Yeah, it's not about the pain in the ass, to be honest. It's more like you pay more. It's very simple. Like if you order the part separately, you pay more than in the kit. Especially what makes the self-sourcing parts expensive are the laser cut panels. For this panel and the two deck panels, I paid like 75 euros. So it's just really expensive because they're like custom-made parts. If you have a laser cutter or CNC that can do that, that might change the equation quite a bit. But for me, I don't have either, which means I have to order them from like a company. And then they usually have like relatively high upstart costs. The parts themselves are not that expensive, but yeah, so like it's a quite significant part. Besides that, what is expensive? It's just like it's a lot of small parts. Like you don't need any big parts because like you have the motors, you have the extrusions. Most likely you have a main board that you can use, maybe. I mean, you can just recycle whatever. Potentially you can even recycle just the main board of the machine you're converting. Depends a bit on what that is. But it's all relatively cheap stuff. The power supply you can reuse. So really like, you don't need anything really expensive, but it's like a lot of small parts. And it just means you have to order at like a lot of different vendors. Potentially you have a lot of like shipping costs then. So yeah, that just adds up. Let's turn on. Let's see, maybe we can put the cable a little bit around the back here. Okay. I guess the magic smoke risk is relatively low. Yeah, it's so nice. I mean, now these blocks here, like on the side, they can be completely removed. Not completely, maybe, because I added the LD bars here. So that still takes off like 2 centimeters or something, but definitely like we can add like quite a bit of set travel here. Don't go on my keyboard, please. For like $40, 3mm all clear panels. Oh, nice. Then you got like a really good deal. Like at least where I live, like it was more expensive. In retrospect, I maybe could have like ordered them at like JLC PCB or something, like one of these like Chinese companies. Might have been maybe a bit cheaper, but then also if you pay like a lot of shipping. Yeah, these parts we don't need anymore, right? I will keep the cable clips. They're always like handy. Cool. Let's see. That booted up. Oh, that did not home. Weird. The tool is like a jiggle. Okay, works fine. Let's just quickly like move just to quickly check. I mean, on X here, this is fine. Like there's no like tension here on the cable. This is pretty good. Just goes around the chain. That's quite a good thing. It's like relatively low. It's like 22 millimeters. Let's just go to like 2. That doesn't really change a lot. And if we now go to max, it's actually like I need to check that. Like the build area is configured like to 220, but like there's not quite 220 millimeters. But also here, like now it like bends around the cable chain. show you here really, really neatly. So this is like good. And there's like, it still doesn't go over the end of the machine. So even if you have like an enclosure, this could be quite a good, maybe you have to do it like a little bit shorter the cable. But even with the enclosure, I think this should definitely work. And if you go like to, I mean, at the moment, I think the Z max is 160. 165 maybe, but yeah, also here, like this is now like pretty good. So this is pretty good still. Just goes around here very nicely. And if we go now to X0, yeah, somehow it's like a bit. Oh, haha, the cable hits here. Like the guard. Let me quickly home X. Yeah, we lose a bit of X travel there. Interesting. So basically, let me quickly do it again. So if I go to X0 now, how can I show you that? So you see here is like the rail still has like a couple millimeters. I would like guesstimate like 3 millimeters are here between the rail and the this block. But yeah, that's the true star. You see here, it completely connects. Like there it connects with the rail. So you lose a little bit of white travel there. And you home you home against the PG7 connector, which I'm not sure, because I use sensorless homing. I'm not quite sure if this is the best thing to do. Let me quickly. So if I home that, like it connects here with the PG7 connector and the rail. So I'm not quite sure if this is the best way to home it. Oh yeah, Kitty investigation time. He's the big inspector. He needs to make sure everything is properly done. No, the microphone is being inspected. I have a couple custom banners made, and I asked the guy to include the cuts. And yeah, so if you just wrap it up in some other order, like I think it's not that expensive for me. Like because they were 75, and I think like 40 something was just the upstart cost for the project. If you order like 200 of them, it's a lot cheaper. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do with this. Like, technically, it doesn't matter. It connects with the solid part of the PG7 connector here, like right here. Bit annoying, but honestly, I'm not sure how you would change that. Yeah, same on the other side. So basically, we're losing now like 2 millimeter either side. So the new, like, if this is X 0, let's just quickly check what we can get out. So if I kind of inch my way over here. Yep, now there it connects. Interesting. So on this side, it connected here on the where it's supposed to connect. And we still have a little bit of space. Yeah, there we have like I would say like maybe like 1.5 millimeters in between here. Weird. So this seems to be done. I mean, it is visually centered. But it maybe means that these parts are not 100% centered. But these parts I are aligned with the belts, that the belts are completely level. I mean, potentially, I mean, we're now at exactly 220. Let me quickly check what the what we configured here as the max. Printer config, printer config, printer config, printer config. Oh no. Yeah. As mentioned, this is not like the best config. I don't often work on this, and then I'm always looking for stuff. X was obviously at the top. Yeah, 220. So we don't actually lose any. It connects now a little bit different. I think Steve the nut is vertical. Oh, they're not. Ha! You are eagle-eyed as always. Let me just put them to the center. The nut is not centered. Now it is. And you think now we gain a bit more? No, it's still the same. Like it still connects here, but it's also like it doesn't connect with the nut on the base. It connects with the nut of the cover. Like it connects here with the front nut, not with the back one. And this one is straight. So to me, it looks like this connector would need to be like a little bit over like 2 millimeters or something. I mean, that's not too, like, technically we can mod this part later. Like, for now, I will leave it as is. Like, this works fine for me. Technically, you can mod this part to have the connector a little bit more inward. There's definitely space. And we see, like, on this side, there's a bit of space. So should be moddable. But yeah, for now, it should be fine. I call it success. Okay. Then I would say our umbilical cable is a clear success. Let's check out the Klipper update automation. Going to be less anyways with the rail comes up. Yeah, exactly. That is true. Although I had no, the rail covers will always be there, even if they shorten them. Yeah, not a concern. I think it's totally fine. Like I don't need to max out the build volume of this machine. If this machine doesn't have enough build volume, 2.4. The concept works, yeah. But to be honest, I don't see a way to fix that. As long as you have the linear rails here and you don't have any over travel left, right, there's not really like a way to fix that. You could use, I'm not sure if that would work. Like if you replace the 2040 extrusions, the vertical ones, with 2020, then it would work. Which technically could do. Wouldn't see why not. Bit less stiff, most likely. Okay, cool. Let's transition. So, Voron Klipper Auto update. So I found this in one of the last streams, like more or less randomly. And it's kind of like where my idea comes from. So it's always like a bit of a pain to like go through all your Klipper MCUs and like flash them manually. So the idea here basically is that you use these config spider files. Because you can automate everything like as a shell script, except for the make menu config. But the idea here is basically that you grab these config spider files and then integrate them into your shell script. This can then look something like this. which is pretty much exactly what we're going to do. The only thing I want to then add on top is I want to call the shell script from Moonraker. I don't have to open SSH session because I am lazy. The nice thing is on this machine, all the toolhead boards are catapult flashed. So instead of this like SD card flash thingy here, we just use catapult. So I would say let's dive into the terminal. Cool. Let's not update Klipper yet, so let's just keep the Klipper version. There is definitely like a Klipper update, and I personally don't like Klipper updates. Frequent viewers know why. But for today, we will update to the latest. But we will also make a note of the, let me just, before we do anything, let me just grab a screenshot of the update manager section here. Then I can I'll go back to the exact Klipper version that I have now. Because I am currently on 0.13.152. I see there's an update with 154, but most likely when it's done refreshing here, there's a couple more. Okay, let's just go to our make menu config, and this should be configured for one of our MCUs. It's not. Cool. Okay, then we need to do a little bit of research. So we have, we discovered we have 3 MCUs here. We do have the BTT MP4, which is the MCU. Then we have this list2W, which is a accelerometer, which is under the bed. We have the EBB, which is on the toollet here, and we have the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, so we have 4 MCUs basically that all need to be updated. Let's work in Visual Studio Code. I think this is easier than if we work on the terminal. Because you have to iterate a bit on the script. Quickly close all the crap I have here. 1 second, I need to add Visual Studio Code to OBS. Perfect. That is unexpected. This worked out of the box, except for the window size. Perfect. So if you have this blue button down here, you can look up online how you can do that. Oh yeah. Then you can see the hosts you have configured in your SSH host file. So for me, it's Clyde. And basically what it's doing now is opening Visual Studio that's running on, oh, that's the wrong printer. Ignore me. That's the wrong printer. So Visual Studio Code will be running on this machine, and we can directly edit the files, and we don't have to go through the terminal. That makes it a bit easier if you like iterate on code. I will make a short manual on how to do that in the final version. After that, you can find them in the Discord, and the link is in the description. I don't care about the Raspberry Pi MCU at all, Mr. DDSI. I don't even use it. Technically, we can also remove it, but it's also not like a big thing to support it. Yeah, now it opened a new window. It opened a new window. Okay, let's hope this works on the CB1. Because I remember having a bit of trouble with the CB1 in Visual Studio Code. Otherwise, we have to do it like old school in Terminal. NeoVim. No, I like VS Code. I don't think I used the Raspberry Pi as MCU. I'm not 100% sure. I think on the CB1 image, it's already set up because I used the CB1 image with all the stuff installed, and I think they already just had it set up there, and I didn't disable it. Technically, we can also just throw it out. Let's just work in the home folder. Here we go. So now you see all the files here, including Klipper and everything. So we can also just open like a terminal here, same as the other terminal. Just now we are already on Charlotte, which is this machine here. Okay, cool. So this is running. Let's quickly look up the configurations. So we need the M4P Klipper menu config. Let's just start with the main MCU. This is not what we wanted. I need the here. This is what I wanted. So we are STM Microelectronics. STM Microelectronics. What model are we? We are STM32G0B1. Maybe I can remember it at some point. G0B1. This one. We have an 8 kilobit bootloader. And we are missing this checkbox here. The clock reference is 8 megahertz and communication interface is USB PA11, PA12. Nothing to do here. So we can go escape, yes, save, and then we can grab this spider file. So let's quickly check this manual here. So we need to find this config file. Hi, Patsmiu, welcome. Does it say where? Let's see. Do we find a config file here? There's config. Oh, wow. Many config. Look at this. Generic Big Tree Tech Manta M4P config. Perfect. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Can we also look for SP2209? See, the SP2209 is missing. This one is not here. It's in a Klipper out, Steve. Wait, let me quickly find name star.config. .config. Ah, yeah, it's just called .config. So make how do we confirm that? I think it's just this .config file. Does it say here? Oh, .config. If you can read, it tells you exactly. So let's just rename this config file. I'll move it to the home folder. So it's like the curly thingy slash M4P Klipper make menu.config. So just moved this file out, and now it's gone. So if we now do make menu config, it should be like blank again because we removed this file out. Let's do the next one. I do want to say that the Formbots LD Lite 4 was hilarious when I realized that they actually sent that. It's so chintzy. Yeah, it is cheap. I fully agree, but actually they work quite well. Like I have them installed and they are functional. Like it's not sexy, but it's functional. So yeah, like I mean it's cheap. It's also a cheap kit. Don't forget that. And I think if they can save like a couple of bucks on this part, yeah. I will replace it eventually. I kind of like I'm a bit done with working on the machine for now. Like also kind of want to use it a bit more first. But I definitely will also like replace the lights on that machine. Okay, so that's a Manta M4P. Manta M8P make menu config. Technically, we can just use the one from the Klipper folder there, right? GitHub. M8P. We are on the version. No, what I'm doing. M8P. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. SP2209. And here's my favorite thing is using the wrong one. RP2040. Oh, so I'm sharing the correct window. Build cut, I guess? Should be in here. Should be in here. Sometimes GitHub doesn't load these pages. It's a bit annoying. You know what? Esoterical canvas guide. We just look here. Toolhead flashing, toolhead hardware. SB big tree tag. SB2209, RP2040. Here we go. Klipper config. So we have extra low level is on. Then we have a Raspberry Pi, Raspberry 2040, right? And then we have a 16 kilobit bootloader, which is important because this is the Catapult bootloader. Then we have the communication interface is this time Canvas. And then 4.5 should be correct, and canvas speed is 100K. And GPIO pins to set is GPIO 26. GPIO 26. That is it. Oops. Quit. Yes. Then we do the same move, and this time it's SP2209 Klipper make menu config. Then we need that small thingy, like the accelerometer, which is under the bed. And this one is exactly the same. So it's also RP2040. I don't think we have a bootloader on this one. We do have a Catapult bootloader, of course. Communication is USB serial this time. It's not Canvas. And that's it. Quit. Yes. And then we move this. Let me quickly look up how this is called again in the web interface. By the way, I just realized I completely do this on the wrong machine. Like my brain is completely across today. Like I'm on the V0. And this one, you see now here, like the web interface isn't loaded anymore. And also Visual Studio disconnected. I think it just doesn't have enough memory. I noticed that. I noticed that before. that as soon as I connect Visual Studio Code with the CB1, it kind of crashes everything. So I think Nano, Nano it is for today. That also means we need to quickly copy the files over that are now created. Man, I'm chaotic. I'm so sorry that I'm so chaotic. Let's just call this ADXL Klipper make menu config. And then last but not least, let's just do that stupid Raspberry host thingy, right? Linux process, nothing to do, quit, yes, done. Move Raspberry Pi. And now we should have these files here. So we have the Klipper ADXL M4P, our Raspberry Pi, and the SB2209. So these are the files we have. I'll definitely bookmark that site. Now, don't know which site you were referring to. This one here, the esoterical guide, is amazing. Like this is what you want for flashing. It's just like I find the navigation a bit stupid. So you click mainboard flashing, and it gives you instructions for mainboard flashing, but then you need to click common hardware, and then you need to click the board basically that you have, and it gives you that settings for catapult and for the board itself. Then just work through. But for 2.4, I also have that in my PDF guide. I kind of have an extract there. Okay, let me maybe quickly connect to the correct printer. You never know. That's set to be quite a good thing. And let me quickly copy the files over. Let me quickly copy the files. Almost there. I just quickly do that in my file browser. 2, 3, 4. Can you copy? We have this nice saying in German, like who doesn't have work can create their own. That's what I like to do sometimes. Now I struggle copying files. You're still alive. Okay. For some reason it doesn't want to copy the files over. Let's try step by step. Maybe I only have read-only access here? Ugh. Okay, 1 second. Then we have to do the old school way. M4P, that goes to Charlotte. That was 1. Can I use wildcard copy here? Yes, I can. Okay, it copied all 4 files over. Hey, we did it. Oh, You don't see it. Okay. Sorry for that little intermezzo. Here we go. All files are copied. So you see the green files here are our files. Let's just create a folder and call it Klipper auto update. And then we move all config files to Klipper auto update. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Then somebody said nano. We going to nano. So step one is we need to update Klipper itself. So if we kind of like take a sneak peek here at this Voron guide, we kind of have like the blueprint of this script already. Let's copy the elegant example that we have here and let's just go through it. Oh, they do exactly what we want. So basically they stop Klipper and then they do a git pull. So all the Klipper files are organized in Git repositories, and a git pull is effectively exactly what Klipper update does. So you stop it, you go to Klipper, you do a git pull. I think technically you should run some install script here because the dependencies could have changed. I'm not sure if Klipper does it automatically. Then they do make clean. And here we now need to do the following. To make it work in any directory, that's just hard-coded for now. So the kconfig file would be in home folder / Klipper auto update / I'm quickly opening like a second tab. Then I can copy the files here. Let's just start with the, how about we just test it with the ADXL? So we do this. So the ADXL Klipper make menu config. I don't think this like file name matters. I don't know why they call it config.spider. So the kconfig is like always in here. Okay, then let's just keep this like prompt here. Our flashing looks a bit different because we use Catapult to flash that. So we keep this one open. Let me just also just save it quickly, just in case. So to flash with Catapult, Neovim Nano is the best choice. Well, I use Nano. I don't use it often. I really don't care. More or less works the same for me. Let me see. There is somewhere here is the flash command. Using Catapult to flash. Exactly, this is the flash command. So they use Python 3 Catapult scripts flash tool, and then we need to have this specific value here. So we just copy that and plop that here in this block. We need to get this board ID quickly. And then this one we can kill. And for the rest, let's just comment that out. So let's just do one at a time for now. So start we can do. So basically we just do one board, which is the ADXL. We can maybe make this a little bit nicer later on, but if this works, it works. So let's quickly look for this ID. So in the printer config. Yeah, I don't like. I organized this really weirdly. Shaper. We have this ADXL. EVB list to W. Where did I define this? Like don't organize a config like I did here. This was an experiment. I don't like it. Like I like breaking it up, but I don't like breaking it up this much. Oh yeah, I was looking at it. Yeah, this is what we need. This is what we need. So this goes here. And now we can do change mod plus X auto. How do you call it? Update Klipper. And now we can run update Klipper, the script. BQ. So now the ticket pull, and this didn't work at all. Quit. So what happened here? Oh, it didn't find the file. Using default symbol values, no Klipper auto update, ADXL Klipper make menu config. Well, is that true? Nope, this file does not exist. Oh, there's a typo. Update. That does indeed not exist. Let's just do this first. Config file. Let's just make a variable for that because I don't want to type this out like a million times. In case it changes again. Maybe we can also fix the typo. Yeah, I spotted the typo as well, Mr. Design. Config. And here we forgot the entire folder, so. Let's see. Also, that did not work. What did it say? So I'm not quite sure where this comes from. Oh, it's empty. Okay. Oh, there's another typo. Yeah, Mr. Desai. I see. The Kofnik file. I like my typos today. Let's also add some echo here. I like some. So this is just typical header. So if an error occurs, /bin/bash. This just cancels the script when like an error occurs somewhere. Echo stopping Klipper. how's this board now called? This to the W, building Klipper, and then flashing Klipper. Then we have a little bit of like an overview where we are in the script. Maybe let's do one more here. So this is configuring. And then here we say, oops, with the E. It's also not the right line. Okay, let's try again. Stopping Klipper. Now we see a little bit like what happens. And still not. Still says this one is not found, but now it has the path. And this is definitely here. So potentially it has a problem with the wiggly thingy here. Wait. Let's just give it like a complete absolute path. Just to see if this is what it needs here. Now that we only have this variable here, we only have to do it once, so. Okay, it now filled the entire thing. So you still have to press Q and Y, which is a bit annoying. Maybe we can fix it in a second. But now it's compiling for that board. That's actually, before we flash that, I want to quickly try something. So like there's a trick. You can say echo QY and then pipe that into this make command. So this is basically the input this command receives. Maybe this is enough to like just pass over that. I don't have to do make menu config. No, I don't have to make menu config. You're right, Mr. DGSI. After work, good luck. Well, I hope it's the last day of your week. Enjoy your work. But yeah, this also worked here. But yeah, Mr. DGSI, you're absolutely correct. I don't need to make menu config because the config file is already passed in here. Like, there's no reason to do that. There's no reason we need to do that. That's absolutely right. So let's just try again. We don't need to make menu config, but also like the echo worked perfectly. There's no error, so we can press enter. And it's flashed. Easy as that. Cool, let's make this a bit pretty, right? So firstly, let's remove this lock here, we don't need that. Then this is Control K, what is paste? U. U. Then we can kill this line here. Building Klipper. K. U. We can. Oops. K. K. U. Okay. So it's building Klipper. Dum dum. I'm not sure if we need this here, to be honest. I don't think we need this. Because with the set E on top, like it should cancel automatically, like if the build fails. So I'll just get rid of this. Then we do flashing. Let's just do some new lines between the steps. And technically, we could create a loop for that now. The last Klipper commit I found buggy was like an earlier one. This one was pretty much up to date now. Like there were only 2 more commits, so fingers crossed. I wonder if we can loop that. Bash script loop. This is basically what we want. Oh, I'm missing also exclamation mark here. I don't see. So let's just create a loop. I like loops. And then we need bash array. You can see I'm like a bash expert. So let's just go with this annotation here. So basically we just make a like an array of items. And that being the config files. There's also a way we can get the bash get script directory exactly. Yeah, accept. This one, let's copy this. So this is the directory where this like file is located, because you can call the script from different directories. And then we don't care about this. And then this should be $script dir. So basically the directory is put in here. Also in my other tab, let me quickly copy Klipper cd Klipper auto update. Copy update Klipper to update Klipper 2. Just in a copy because I'm messing up quite badly in the file. Just, you know, like in case. Then the next one here would be the M4P. Config. Then the next one would be the Raspberry Pi is special because it doesn't use Catapult. So let's just skip over that for now. So these are the 1, 2, 3 boards we have here. Then this is config files. Then we have it's called IDs. The first one is this one here. Then the second one is M4P. And then the last one is SB2209. So these are the IDs. We just use them for logging. Just to be sure, you want to loop the flashing for all MCU. Yeah, exactly. That's my idea. And then we need the like whatever this is, the target. So this is this one here. We need to have it with the -D because like we also will have -U for the SP2209. EBB will not use a different flashing command, right? Just use the almighty SD card. We did that, and it was not fun. So the MCU is this one here. The thing is, like, I kind of want to make it nice in a way that, like, you don't have to go through this trouble right now. EBB. So this one is different because it has a canvas UUID. That's what Mr. DSI. Exactly. But now Mr. DSI, the flash command is the same, right? It's just a -U here. Yeah, exactly. But this is like this will be gone. So the first one is Control K. Then let's quickly do the config file equals, and now we need to quickly check our array guide here. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. Can I just access like, yeah, $E. So this looks like normal saying things. So this would be config files $E. Let's see if we can dynamically get the length here, but like for now it's 0 to 2, 0, 0, 1, 2. Then we have the config file. That means we can now copy this one. And we can copy this one. Oh, wait, that was wrong. Okay. This line needs to be gone. And then we need this one. Okay, and then we need to have, let's just move this one to the top. Config file ID is IDs $E, and target equals targets $E. There we're missing an S. Okay, so we have then this, then we can have the $ID here, just like that. Nice for logging. And then here, let's do echo $ID done. Okay, we don't need oh, and this is for the Raspberry. So let's leave that on for now, or like here for now. This should be it. Yes, we now need to have to modify this one. What we can do is very easy. We can just say eval, so evaluate. And we could turn this one in a string. And then here we say $target. And this should fix what Mr. DDSI. Oh, the -E can. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Let's quickly check that. Mainboard flashing. What am I missing here? Toolhead flashing. Dum. Catapult is now installed. Where is the flash command here? Yeah, you are right. -E can. You are right. Thank you for that hint. So we can just add it here to that target. The order of these parameters usually doesn't matter, so we can just do it like this. And technically it should work. So this should technically flash now all boards, if we don't have a syntax error in line 17. No, it doesn't show me lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait, let me quickly use the second tab to run the script again. What does it say? Line 17? Syntax error near unexpected token. So something with the loop is not correct. Doesn't like this loop statement. So maybe like this. But also this is E. I'll see if another page uses a different syntax. Bash for in loop. Let's try this one. In sequence 1, 3. I think for bash, actually, I remember that like 1 is the first array index. That was something weird. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't like that. Technically, we don't need that here. See if it's happy without the semicolon. There's some syntax error here, but I don't see it. Oh, we are missing a bracket here. There's a bracket missing. Okay, now we need to pay attention if it works. Okay, so we see here there's like an empty bracket, so this didn't work. config file 1. Okay, so we have a couple of issues. Let's just use this tab here. Firstly, we need to have a dollar maybe here. That would help tremendously. Okay, I'll keep this tab open as editor, and then this tab I use to run. Then we can switch back and forth. Let's see. Step by step to success. No, still not. Let's actually also quickly comment out these make commands. I just want to see the logs, because they will tell us already quite a bit. Oh, we said we wanted to keep this one open and use this one to run. Yeah, so this still doesn't work. Like these brackets here are empty. Oh, because we have lowercase ID. Let's add like another echo here where we log all the things. And we can just log the config file and target then we can see what the script is using. Step by step. So here it has the list to WD with a 1, 2, 3, not quite. So we have these 1, 1 at the end, 2, 3. That's not correct, but I think the Klipper. Wait, how do we access this array? I think there's a syntax error with the array. Oh, he has curly brackets around. Okay. I keep closing that. He has it like this. IDs like this. Which doesn't highlight the syntax correctly, so I am not very positive. I think we need space here. Yeah, I think this looks better. And here we still have lowercase ID, which does not work. Okay, let's run. Bad substitution. That's good. I like that. No, there's no space here. I mean, let's try it. It's just like the closing brackets are green. That's not a good sign. Oops. Let me also quickly comment out this. Ah, perfect. M4P, SB2209. Cool. But now the last one is empty. Oh, shit. Sorry. I'm not showing anything. I'm so sorry. The last one is empty. So we have it here and here. Never mind these \n's. But here, this one means that the index is off by 1. So we need to have 0, 2. I still didn't uncomment the stupid Klipper. Perfect. Now we have one. Let's also check that the values are correct. So this is ADXL. Then we have the M4P. We have the SP2209. And then the target is -D different, and -E-U. Cool. So this works. Let's see, \n. There's the trick. Printf. Okay, we use printf. Then let's quickly change this command here to printf. I just used it to create like some empty lines. And besides that, it's fine. So let's just uncomment these lines here. And technically it should all flash fine. Seems good. Yeah, step by step to success. I don't write bash scripts often, like by not often, I mean at all. And I think you would be very successful just asking ChatGPT to write it for you. But where's the fun in that? Uh, uh-oh. Flash error. Oh, Klipper out, Klipper bin. That should be correct. Did it not build it? Yeah, make it. I make it stop an error, right? It has an error and it stops. That's it, set-E. Um, let's quickly check. Is there no Klipper bin here? Oh, it's called Klipper Elf. Is it correct? I don't understand what the comment means. You don't want to flash Klipper bin till it's 2W. I don't know what you mean. But I think the problem here is that this is called Elf. I think the problem is this is called Elf. Why would that be called Elf? Because there's no Klipper bin here. This is the problem. There's no Klipper bin generated. Um, oh, we create some random files here. Oops. Why can't I cannot select that one. Okay, whatever. Okay, random files removed. But still, oops. I still don't quite understand what you were trying to tell me, Mr. DSI. So this file doesn't exist, correct. The question is why it doesn't exist, because we should have compiled it here. If we quickly comment this one out. So now we'll build for all the boards. And I'm just interested, like, in if after the last one it has the correct correct firmware. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit confused why there's no bin file. The output for all boards seems to be the same. Like it says Klipper elf. Like it's saying flashing now, but it's not actually flashing, right? We commented it out. And we always have this Klipper elf. Let's just quickly do like a manual make menu config. So we do the RP2040, all fine. Quit yes. Now we just say make. I just want to see if there's another output. And if something goes wrong, it can carry on and use wrong files to flash. But I see you do make clean. Yeah, I do make clean, and there's also the set E in the script, like that. This statement here on top basically tells the shell when any of the commands fail, then you stop. By default, it will just continue with the next one. But with the set E, basically, if let's say like this one fails, the make clean or whatever, then like the next one will not continue. Yeah, see, this is different. Now it says creating bin file out Klipper bin. And here it says linking out Klipper elf. So this, like the last lines are different. So seemingly there's a difference? I don't understand why there would be a difference. I'm just not sure what, like I've never seen this elf file, I think. Klipper.elf. Described in the documentation, amazing. Neither elf nor hex are mentioned in the documentation. Thank you. Yeah, but it's not only for the RP2040, right? Also the if you look at the M4P, which is definitely not RP2040. this one also has this elf file generated. Question now is, if we launch this one, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. You see also here with M4P, it creates the elf file, and this is the STM chip. So my question is our config here correct? So if we say, how do we do that here? Kconfig underscore config. So if we say cd Klipper menu config, and then we say kconfig config, was like this, right? Kconfig underscore config is the config file. So if I give it the M4P file, this is the problem. It doesn't load the config file correctly. It doesn't load the config file correctly. So I think the elf file is for the @mega. You see also here, like this is the M4P that I use, and it says AVR @mega 2560. So it didn't correctly grab the file there. That is the problem. Like the config files are incorrect. No, please don't do this. So if we check, oh wait, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. This is the wrong path. Home BQ Klipper. It should be Klipper auto update. No such file directory. Wait. ls Klipper auto update. IDX Klipper make old. What is this .old file? I didn't create that. Let's quickly check this one here. Yeah, so this one here is definitely different. Now you see here, this is RP2040. So this file is correct. So the problem is that we used the wrong home BQ Klipper. Yeah, see here, the path is wrong. Home BQ Klipper. The path is wrong. I think this one needs to go up because here we already have a CD. Oh. Script here. Okay, let's just move that all the way up here. Let's quickly run update Klipper again. It should print now the correct path, maybe. Yeah, home BQ Klipper auto update. Now it should work. Now it says Klipper auto update here instead of Klipper. Yeah, now we have the correct output. It says pre-processing out. Yes, here we go. Perfect. Now it does correct. Okay, let's quickly I keep closing Nano. Can you load it? Let's remove the comment from this one. And now it should update everything. I have target, no targets at the end, Steve. Yeah, but target is correct. You see here, we have this line where we copy out the targets at position E into target. So I just take the area index and move it here. You also see here it grabs it correctly. Yeah, now it's flashing. Perfect. Now we are on the M4P. Okay, well, the first port flashed. And also here we have like some Klipper elf happening. Wait, what happened here now? Oh, it's a list WD, flash, 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 M4P. So this is the make menu config we have. Let's quickly check what happens. Like first, is this a file? Yes, it's a file. This seems to be like it's GCC is like the compiler, so it seems to be some build error. It's building STM32. Let's quickly do it manually. So I copied that path here. Let's quickly check what it's doing. So we have STM32, GB, bootloader, communication USB. So this looks good. We did install Catapult on the M4P, but also like it fails before. It fails before going to Catapult. You see, like it doesn't say flashing Klipper. It fails in this step here. So, and we did definitely install Catapult. And I'm very certain. So this is a build error. Make clean. And then we say make kconf config. Oh, no, I copied some random stuff. Cool. Now I'm pretty sure this command will not fail because this is exactly what creates this output here. Exactly, see here? So this is what failed. So it just fails to compile Klipper for this board at the moment. So I'm just opening make menu config now, right? So this looks all good. And even without Catapult, like it should build. So with the bootloader, clock reference, nothing too fancy. Let's just say quit yes. So now we should be back. Yeah, exactly. Regenerate config files. So now we say make without anything. So this should now just use the config that we just saved with make menu config. Let's see if this okay, something is fishy right now. But also now it says RP2040, so this is definitely not good. Oh, I didn't do a make clean most likely. No, it's again 2040. This is not doing stuff that it should do because like the RP2040 is not used for the M4P. let's quickly do like again, make menu config. You have idea? Yeah, it is RP2040. I think something went maybe wrong there with the file. Let's quickly fix that. So it's STM G0B1. No, 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 no. 8 kilobit, 8 kilobit, USB, USB. There were no GPIO pins to set at startup. So we say Q yes. And now we should say less config. And this should be now STM32G0B1. Okay. Then we say copy.config to Klipper auto update M4P. So I just overwrite that. Let's do make clean. And then we do like another make. Well, is it make kconfig M4P? Maybe something got messed up with that config file. Yeah, now it's compiling also STM binaries. Then let's also quickly double check that yeah, perfect. Okay, now it works. Let's quickly do the last one then also with the SB2209, just to make sure that this works. I feel like we were pretty close. I hope Steve is incorrect and I did install Catapult, because that would be quite a bummer if not. This one seems fine. Weird. There's something got mixed up with the with this M4P file. Oh no, this one also fails. Cool. Okay, then also let's regenerate this one. This is 2040, bootloader offset 16, CAN bus 4.5, GPIO pins is GPIO 26. Yes. Quit. Yes. Let's try again. I did that. Yeah, I'm fairly certain I did that. Because like I would never want to do this painful SD card flashing again. I wonder, you know, like if they already have this like board where you don't have like a physical reset button and like it's really hard to flash with SD card, why don't you not like ship the board with Catapult installed? I mean, if you don't use Catapult, you can just ignore it. You can flash Klipper on top of it, like it doesn't really matter, right? But then at least you have the option to like have Catapult. Okay, now it worked again. So my question is no, just a bit like, why? So let's just quickly try one more with now the M4P again. I did make clean, so Let's see if it now compiles STM or... Yeah, now it does STM. Okay, then those two files somehow was a bit corrupted. Maybe from my copying back and forth, something went wrong. I don't know. Okay, we don't need to wait for that. Fire. Let's see. Let's see, we should see RP2040 here. Yes, RP2040 is used, so this looks good. Okay, that's the M4P. Perfect. Now we should see STM binaries. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I think now it works. And then I can clean that script up a bit, sprinkle some like green check marks in there and stuff like that. I like emojis in my scripts. Then, I mean, technically all you need to do to like modify it for you is like generate those files and like update the arrays in the script. And that does a full clip update now. This is pretty cool. I like this. The last step is basically I want to call it from mainsail. Oh, we also have to do the stupid Raspberry Pi in the end. Let's just also quickly do that. I think that's now easy. Perfect. That's it. Cool. Okay, let's quickly do the Raspberry 2040. So we do make clean. The clean does need a K config. I don't know why you pass the K config to clean. I mean, let's do it. So let's just. I don't want to do the Raspberry in the loop because the flash command is different. Let's also do it in loop. I have idea. So this is then script dir slash RPI underscore this whole shebang. Check. Then the target, let's just call the target make. And then we call this RPI. And then here we say if there was like some weird syntax around that. I don't like bash scripting at all. Oh, don't screws, please. My screws. Bash if equals. Sure, if you use it, but use shell check to check your scripts. I might do that later. I might do that later. So we say dollar target is make. Then else fee, I think. Oh, this is not else, this is elif, elfie, elif. Okay, then you go here. And here we say make flash. Also, I think we don't need to pass the kconfig file here. But let's just do that. Same, it's done here. Okay, then we can... Oh! Somebody wants attention. Yep. Can you help me, bash script? No, that's what I thought. Okay. Let me... I mean, now we have to run through the whole thing again. That's a bit annoying. You know what? Maybe let's quickly move... I just copy this to the front. Oh, there's a thing missing. So we just do the thing twice. But now it's in first. Also, let me quickly check. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. I'm forgetting to switch to terminal sometimes. Just call me out, please. Bash array length. Yeah, let's do it manually for now. So this would be now 4 technically. Let's do 3, then it doesn't do the last make. Okay, so now the Raspberry will be the first to be flashed. Token fee, line 35. If then fee. Bash if else. Yeah, it's fee, yeah. If fee. If then else fee. What do we have? If then else. It is else. Okay, my bad. Oops. Let's try again. Almost there. It doesn't have to glide on its own weight. That's not a requirement. Smooth motion is all you need. 1 second. Somebody was exploring certain parts of the kitchen they are not allowed in. And they know exactly what you will do next. Where are we? So it's compiling. Oh, shit. We didn't update that file for the Raspberry. Most likely it's also broken. So we need to do make clean, make menu config. And this is the Linux process. Quit, yes. And then we say cp.config goes to auto. Oh, Klipper auto update. Okay. And then let's try this entire thing again. Yes, I fixed the chat. I fixed the chat. I migrated to a new laptop, and the chat was even more broken than it was before, and I took the time and fixed everything. Let's see. I will use the Linux stuff. Ah, cool. Now it worked. Okay, so something corrupted those files. Okay, 1 second. He never tried jumping on the kitchen before, and now he did it twice. So now you're arrested for a second. You were sleeping way too much, right? You have way too much energy. I leave you on the script screen. I'm so sorry. This is like I'm so bad with this switching. Okay. 1 second again. Difficult. So, but we are almost there. Does the cat name follow your print name scheme? No, like I opened a new category. The cat is Loki, so all the cats will have names with L if I get more. But this one keeps me busy for now. It's like usually this is now like our playtime. I think that's why he's like super energetic and doesn't know what to do with energy. Cool. It worked. Let's quickly see if everything comes online. And that's the important part, right? It doesn't seem like it. Let's quickly check. ls the serial by ID. So we have RP2040 and we have STM. But we should, no, this is correct. So this is the ADXL and this is the M4P. Let me quickly check. There's this command to query the canvas. Okay, so it doesn't have a canvas, but this can also be sudo service Klipper stop because Klipper has that occupied. I restarted Klipper in the script. Like I stopped it. Oh, but it checks for catapult nodes. Wait. This is what we need. Okay, it doesn't find the canvas. Let me quickly do like a restart. Little devil now found the sleeve we removed from the switch wire and is very content with playing with that. Buys me some time. Okay. I'm not sure if the config is messed up. It might be. We need to check that. Let's see if this comes automatically online. Aha. All it needed was a reboot. Okay. I'll take that. Maybe we messed something up, but might also be just the smart idea to just add a reboot to the end of the update script then. Cool, yeah, but then this works. Like this is exactly what I wanted. Like it's the one script, you run it, and like it updates everything. So technically what you could do is Klipper shell extension. And this is what you could do. I don't think I will set this up now, but technically you can set up this G-code shell extension. And you can just add in your Klipper config, like the command auto update Klipper, and then you can just run that, which would allow you to just like from main cell update all your Klipper stuff. So this is actually quite cool. And just say run shell command something. So yeah, this would basically be something you can do. I think for me it's fine to run from the command line. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think that is actually all the things I wanted to do today. So we have a very pretty backward facing PG7 umbilical cable, and we have this update script. I will write some documentation around that update script. I will maybe clean it up a little bit more and then post like a small like GitHub repository or GitHub gist, I'm sure it's pronounced that. You will find the links in the description. So there's the Discord link most likely, and in the Discord server I'll link all the files and stuff like that. So feel free to join that. Cool. Thank you very much for joining. I will take care of this little monster and see you next week with most likely some 2.4 action. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Bye.